Hi, good morning. This is Ajit, and here I'm going to show you to setting up SUSE Manager 3.2. Right. So SUSE Manager is basically an infrastructure management solutions to manage your Linux system. With the help of SUSE Manager, you can manage you can provision your systems. You have in a SUSE basically we have Salt tools which will help you to automate your job. It provides you orchestration. It has a monitoring capability. So overall, it's a solution to provide you or maintain your complex environment into a simple way. Right. So let's see how to configure it. And the best part with the SUSE Manager is it will help you to manage your SUSE machine, your Ubuntu machine, Red Hat machines, CentOS machines, etc. So let's move on and see how to configure it. So here I'm having one base machine currently. So first and foremost is we have to set up the uh, the FQDN, basically the correct name of my SUSE manager. Right. So that is the first requirement. Your name must have two dots in it, meaning is the FQDN basically. So the name of the machine must be pc1.example.com, meaning is FQDN plus hostname plus domain name. So your machine name must be in order of your host name plus your domain name. It's like maybe pc1.example.com, something like this. So there must be two dots in this, right? So host name is space set hyphen host name is space, let's say smgr dot susemgr.com. So that is my host name. Yeah, and I can configure by this way as well. Yeah, that is one. So let me write it down somewhere in the file. Notes. So first thing is you have to set host name ctl space set hyphen host name, and then whatever the name smgr.susemgr.com. So that is one. Second is you have to have a DNS running to resolve the name. So I have downloaded my configured files. So what will I do? I will just paste it to the correct location. Yeah, I have my DNS file. So let install the bind first. So what it's saying, installation has completed with error. So okay, the keys and all. Anyways, it's good. cp space. Okay. Next is copy this file into var lib named, and then master. And now I'm going to open my main configuration file, which is already configured. So this is a directory where I will put my DNS files, I mean records, basically record files is here. So all those things which are related to DNS should be under in this directory. Now my IP address I have to check. It is 136. Okay, so you have to write the IP address which will listen the DNS query. So 136. Third setting is under there you have to write the name of domain that you have chosen. So I have taken susemgr.com, and that is the name of file. Okay, and rest are okay. Yes, it here the name of file can be anything. It does not really matter, but it is good to have something because I have this network 192.168.235. That's fine. There is no issue. Anyways, so just save it. So my master configuration file for DNS server is ready. Now it is a time to correct my uh, zone file. So enter. So you can see here I put my example.com, which is not correct. So just replace it, example.com, mgr.com, G for globally. Yes, it is changed. And the name of machine should also be correct. So it is 136. And my name of machine is smgr that record. So 192.168.235.136. Save it. Make the same change in the reverse lookup zone file. Example.com slash suscmgr.com slash g globally. Example.com slash suscmgr.com slash g. Yes, it is changed. Make the IP correct. So my IP address is 136 in PTR, and then the name of machine is SUSE smgr.sun. Okay. Okay. The next and last thing is you have to tell your resolve file where your DNS server is. So you can see currently I'm taking this, the IP of my DNS server is given from outside, from the VMware side, which is not correct one, right? So you can say it's an internet DNS kind of things given by VMware workstation, because VMware workstation also running their DSCP, DNS and all, right? But I want my IP should be at the top. So what you can do, if you write it here, will be overwritten, because uh, the DSCP which is running in VMware will take precedence. So what you can do, you can update this file, this one, so that your file will not be overwritten. So go to this file and write line number 82, 182. Yes. So write the name of DNS that you have, domain name basically, which you have taken. So in my case, it is susemgr.com, and the IP address of your DNS server 192.168.235.136. Save it, and then run netconfig update -f. You can see your file is updated now. We can check it, the host name, yes. Great. So ns lookup space msngr.suse.com, susemgr.com will not work because I did not start my service. So start the service and enable it. Systemctl enable named. It is working. So let me rerun the command again. Yes, it is working. And for smgr, yeah, cool, it is working. So the first step is you have to have your DNS configure, and the files are etc name.com, and you have to put this is for main configuration file for DNS. And the second is you have to put your record under in var lib named, then you have lib named, then you have master. So it's records files, basically zones files, and start the service. Start named and enable it. That is the second step. Now the next step is we are going to configure SUSE manager, which has some prerequisite hardware prerequisite. So the first thing is, if you are testing in a testing environment, if you are setting up this SUSE manager in your sandbox environment, your network speed will be at least 100 Mbps. If you are using a real production, of course, so then it must be at least 1 Gbps speed of your network. That is one. So you have to care of network speed. That is one. Second is the disk space basically. So root should have at least 100 GB free. Second is your partition, which is spacewalk, has to have XFS formatted with 50 GB each repo. So where spacewalk basically host or hold your repository, right? So whenever you sync the repository from manager to SCC, right, SCC, which is SUSE Customer Center, which gives you option to purchase. You can see the purchased, subscription product there. You can manage it also. It gives you a desktop, a nice desktop to manage it, right? So, so when you sync your channel from manager to SCC, all those repository get downloaded here. So for each single repository you need a 50 GB for basically for SUSE product, right? If you have a Red Hat, then it goes to 200 GB plus. So that is one. So you have to have a file system XFS for var spacewalk with 50 GB each repo. So if I have 100 GB, that means I can go with only two repos. Right. I have a cold today. So next is var live PGSQL, which is a database used by SUSE Manager, right? So at the time when you configure a SUSE Manager, it gives you option which database would you like to choose, internal or external. So when you choose embedded or internal, that goes to PGSQL, PostgreSQL, right? And that is good for 200 client. But if you have more than that, you may need to depend on some external database, maybe Oracle DB or something. Next is okay, and one more petition, which is not parallel SRV tub HD. Yes, I have to have this directory as well. This to host or hold custom repository. So if you make any custom repository, it will be hosted here in this location. And for PGSQL also, you have to have XFS file system, right? So that is same for all. And even it is not really recommended, but yes, good to have XFS file system for this pub folder as well. This file system as well. So anyways, we have this let me check it. So I can't see spacewalk or something, right? LSPLK. Yes, I have to add a two uh, disk here, one for database, another for spacewalk. The space I'm going to take, for example, maybe 150 or 200. That is one. Because I have a space, so I'm going to take it. So here I can see okay, I may need to reboot my machine because it is not the hardware which I add here is not visible. Only SD, not SDB, not SDC, not those two dates. So what will I do? I will save my WQ and then notes. Yes, let's reboot this machine. Let me pause and we'll back. Okay, so let me check this LSBLK. Yes, I can see these two disks. Let it format. So F disk space Dave STB and yeah, and P print. Same for C also. The whole space and W. mkfs.xfs Dave SDB1 SDB2, not 2 because 2 is not there, STC2, okay, STC1, sorry. Okay, it's already formatted. Okay, so let's create a directory where space spacewalk, and another one is where lib pgsql, and I believe it is already there and mounted somewhere. So what will I do? I will unmount it first. pgsql, yes, so I unmounted it. Okay, so now okay, so mount space Dave STP1, then going to mount it into spacewalk, and another one is where lib, then pgsql, that is SDC1. Right. So yes, it is temporary mounted. I need to mount it permanently. So blkid space Dave SDC SDB1, that is a UUID, going to redirect to my fstf file to update it, and another one is SDC. Yeah. So let's go to the fstf file. In the bottom last, you can find it. Yeah. So why I'm choosing this UUID? Because UUID is a hardware unique universal identification. So your disk can be changed because the disk name is managed by the UDF service, and UDF service, with the help of UDF service, you can change the name, and sometimes the name of the disk, the device file get changed. Right. So I don't want to give any chance to face any unaware issue. So mount it. The first one is where spacewalk mounted into formatted with XFS defaults 0 and 0, and another one is where lib PGSQL XFS formatted and this 0 0, and I can run mount space -a, and I can check it also df space. Yes, in the last I can see this one, and this is your PG. Yeah. So let me write it down on some other place. Notes. So yes, I made this file system mounted correctly. Now it is the time to move on to some other thing. So next is your base operating system. Your SLE must be registered under in SCC. So I can show you YAS2 and then registration, because I registered this base machine already. Yeah, it's register again. I don't want select extension. So I have taken a SLE extension already. I mean the product. So SLE is a product basically, the SUSE Linux Enterprise, and these are the extension that I can add on top of my product. Right. So yeah, it's good already. Registration is done. Now the next is SLE, whatever the 15 I'm using, SP3 has to register it. Okay, that is a fourth step. Now the next step is fifth step is let me check this DNS again because I rebooted my machine. Yes, susamgr.com. Great. The name of machine must be in the manner of a host name plus domain name, right? So that is why I checked it again, and I can see because if I don't put that the FQDN, the SUSE manager will stop in the middle. I will show you. Anyways, I'm not going to change it now, so that we can see the error, right? And the second thing is, if your root doesn't have 100 Mbps space, free space, then your SUSE manager will warn you during the installation. So it is a time to install SUSE Manager as extension. So YAS to space registration, add extension. So SUSE Manager 3.2. I mean, we have a list of different version of SUSE Manager. Uh, I would like to take SUSE Manager 3.2. The reason is that later on I would like to convert my not this one proxy, SUSE Manager 3.2. Yes, this one. Yeah. So reason is that the SUSE Manager 3.2 give it has a one new feature. It has a feature which is Kiwi image based. So later on I will convert my SUSE Manager into SUSE Manager for retail. So retail is for retail business, right? So for retail, you have to have a SUSE Manager configure with the version 3.2, which is mandatory, right? For because of there is one feature, as I said, Kiwi image feature is there, which will help you to build an image for POS systems, POS devices, right? So in a kiosk, in a SUSE manager for retail system, there are three different components. One is SUSE manager for retail, the second is build host, and the third one is a branch server, right? So your SUSE Manager retail will be running on top of SUSE Manager. So meaning is SUSE Manager has to convert it into the SUSE Manager for retail, and SUSE proxy will be converting into SUSE branch server, and the build machine will create a image with the help of Kiwi tools, right? So yeah, we'll go for these things later on, which is not a part of the SUSE manager, right? It's a different things. So that's why I'm taking 3.2, so that if in case in future I have a mind, I would like to convert to my SUSE manager into uh, retail, that I can easily go with that. Even I can go with 3.1 as well, but I don't find this Kiwi feature. That's the one thing why I'm choosing this 3.2. Next. It will ask me for the extension key, which I'm going to put, and pausing the video. So yes, I supplied my correct extension for SUSE Manager, and here I can see some installation summary, meaning is I'm supposed to download this package, accept this package. Okay, accept, continue. So currently I'm installing SUSE Manager packages. So if I say steps for SUSE Manager, it's specifically for SUSE Manager. So there are three steps. One is install RPM. Second is configure it. Third is make organization and user as admin for SUSE Manager. So once you have this all prerequisite done, then we can see there are three steps only. One is this. And the time when you install it, this SUSE Manager, it will ask you for extension. So you can yes to space uh, uh, registration. One thing more, if you don't have a subscription, paid subscription, you can go with the evaluation copy of SUSE Manager, but there's a limitation of the client, so you cannot go beyond 10 client if you're going with 60 days evaluation copy of SUSE Manager. So yes, all these product and extensions are free for X amount of time, which is by default 60 days. 60 days, yes. So if you are configuring this SUSE Manager in the testing environment only, so for the base operating system you need a 16 GB, and for SUSE Manager VMs, the machine where you are running it require 4 GB for testing again. But in the production, at least 32 GB of memory RAM needed. So to configure it, you can run yas2 space SUSE manager underscore setup. So yeah. So SSC is basically a SUSE customer portal from where you can see your purchase subscription, right? So let me pause this because pause it because it will take some time to complete this process. So I will show you once the steps are finished. So here we can see this downloading is done, and when I click on finish, I can see the URL that I can access. Oh, okay. Just give me a second. I recheck this error basically from the documentation. So documentation says that your varlib pg SQL has to be XFS, and yes, it is XFS. So we'll see if I face any issue. Uh, yeah, it is XFS. Anyways, because documentation says go with XFS, not BTRFS. So I think so far I'm correct. So yeah, installation part is done. It is a time to configure it. So yas2 space SUSE SUSEMGR, not MGR, SUSE manager setup, MENGER underscore setup. So see the issue. If your name of the machine is not correct, why it's saying SUSE manager? It should be SMGR if I'm not wrong. Where named master and then example SMGR. Yes, it's correct here. SMGR, yes. The next is SMGR. So how come it is showing? Okay, so let me change it. smgr.susemgr.com. Yes, let me reopen the terminal. Yeah, looking good. So when I click exit, yes, and rerun the same, I'm expecting it should not show this error at least. Match with the real host name, the product will not install correctly. As my smgr.susemgr.com working. Yes, yes. The output of this hostname -f, hostname -f. Yes, it is illegal. FQDN. Illegal. So I can change something here because the name is legal. Let's go with that. Continue anyway. So yes, SUSE Manager from scratch. The second one is from the upgrade point of view. If you have running already migrated, wanted to migrate into a new one, then go for it. This is a email ID taken automatically, which will receive some mails on this email, setting up some organization detail. Let's, for example, this is maybe training. Training is an organization unit. Maybe software solution. Organization is EDUC. Education, training. Oh, GBP detected from your account. City, Delhi, State, Delhi, India. Some password. Okay, let me change it. I think 7 characters needed. Yes. Database password. So great. So the next is SCC organization credential username. So when you log on into your SCC account, so there you can see some organization, maybe 1, 2 or something. So choose the correct organization, then go to the right hand side. There is an account name of option. So let me check it so that I can tell you the exact place. So yes, you have to log on into SSC, then you have to choose your organization. On the right hand side, there's a proxy option. So when you click on proxy, let me re-log in again. So where we can this credential is different from the SCC login credential. Remember, it is a credential on setting up or automatically generated on organization. So when you go to the login into the SSC account, on the left hand side there's an organization, whereas on the right hand side you can see a proxies option, PROXIES. So when you click there, you can find a mirroring credentials. So you have to copy that mirroring credentials, username and password here, and then proceed. So I'm going to pause it, then we'll back. I supplied my mirroring credential here. Now the next step is, would you like to configure this here right now or later on? So I would like to write this. I would like to configure my manager right away. So you can click yes, right? So we can read now. So now you can either start the setup process directly or exit the user interface and make custom modification to the answer file, which is here. And if you choose to do that, so okay, so let me pause it and see this file. Does it has any password saved or not, so that I can show you this. Yes, this file hold the name of your mirroring credentials. So when you open this file, you can find the IP address, you can find everything else that you have set up during the process, right? So it is going to take that file, so it is going to source that file and starting up the, so yes. So spacewalk is exist already. leaving it untouched. The wire cache is there. Open needed firewall port, create role. So loading this file, loading answer file, database connection. Okay, it has taken up. Clean up, stop DB, generating a certificate, making some SSL configuration, setting up a cobbler, which is a Python script of 25K file, which is used for provisioning the virtual machines, the cobbler. And here I can see a Zaber, which is a messaging protocol used between SUSE manager and client. Starting spacewalk service. So spacewalk is an upstream project of Red Hat as well as SUSE manager. Yes, it is taken that directory. It is working. So there were the error which we have seen in the beginning was not relevant. Visit this location to create admin account. Okay, everything done. That's cool. Fail because this. Okay, so maybe the postfix is not installed. Postfix is required to send a mail outside of this environment. So it is not really mandatory for testing, but maybe for definitely for production. Anyways, we'll see this later. Postfix why it is not, because there's an error in the service side. The package is there. Can we see if we can solve just in second? Systemctl status postfix. Parameter this unknown, group id this. So so let's go to this file, just set gid. Okay, set gid underscore group. etc postfix main.cf. Yes, anyways we'll see this later. So yes, it is done. Let's next. So here we can see the URL. So I was expecting this URL in the previous dialog box, which was wrong. It has to be here, and that is yeah. So finish. Go up to the browser to access it. The browser is not happy with the certificate because it's not. So you can write organization name, which in my case that was. Let me pause and see the answer file, because desired login name admin, and that is your first user. So desired password. Okay, let it make it as the same, too easy to Okay, email ID maybe admin@susangr.com. Mr. Admin, last name. Save it. So yes, all good, look fine. I can see everything. Here you can see one more box here. You have created this user, that is great. To finalize the installation process, you have to do something more. So click on Setup Wizard. So yes, so here you can see if you are working, if your SUSE manager is sitting behind the proxy, then you have to supply the proxy information. Meaning is you are going to connect to SCC via proxy server, right? So I'm not using any proxy. I have a direct connection from SUSE Manager to SEC. That is a one. Second is if I click on organization credentials, means the mirroring password or something, right? So if I click it here, I can see my organization name, username here, right? The next is a product, SUSE product. So yes, I'm using my account and I have taken um, more than, I mean, I have a list of product there, right? So it will take a time almost 2 to 5 minutes to list all my product, and then I can choose it which product do I want to subscribe, I mean which channel I want to sync from SCC to my local machine. So here we have to select a product, right? So wait for a time. It takes some time because something is going on in the background. So I'm going to pause it, and once this list is visible, we'll show you. So here I can see when I click on SUSE Protect, I can see I can manage my RHL machines, I can manage my SUSE machine, I can manage my Ubuntu machines, right? So yeah, here you have to choose which product that you want to, I mean, sync it. So SP2 enterprise 12 11. Okay, next 15 15 15 12 service pack 5, service pack 4. Okay, so these are the channels. This is a product description. The channels are here. As I said that channel is a method of combining packages, right? So like we have a base package, we base channel, we have a child channel, custom channel, etc., retire channel. We'll come down this later section of my lecture, but next. So let's go with these two channel, version 3, because currently I'm using version 3. Okay, so not sync, these are the mandatory channels and this is the optional channels. So I'm expecting some I think some process is going on. Let it refresh it again. I'm expecting some plus symbol here on my right hand side to include a product into my list. Okay, something is going on, you can see on my left hand side. Let it pause it back. Will back once this process are done. So yes, the process is done. Now here I can choose my the product that I want to sync with. So I have selected two, SP4 SLE 12SP4. In case if you want to include anything more, then yes, you can do this later. Here we have an option add product. I'm not very much like in version 3, sorry, 3.1, I think we had this option here. I'm not very much sure, but I think we had this option somewhere here, plus symbol. In 3.2, I can see this add product at the top. Anyways, let's add the product that you want to sync with. It will take time, definitely, adding a product. Selected channel. So you can see it is going to sync now. It will take, depend on the size of product, will take time. So I'm going to pause it. So yes, we have successfully configured our SUSE Manager 3.3.2. Try to call you, but your phone is not reachable. Please call. Okay. So yes, that's all about SUSE Manager, right? So we'll come up with some new videos like setting up some, SUSE Manager for retail, branch server, etc., etc., and adding some client into this SUSE Manager. How to add a client into SUSE Manager. We'll see this later. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a good day ahead. Yeah.